conflict. After 13 months of fighting and 6 failed ceasefires, there's no sign that the solution to South Sudan's conflict is in sight. As the talks drag on, populations in southern Sudan are suffering disease and food shortages. According to the Wildlife Conservation Society, now the slow pace of the peace process and the proliferation of armed actors in South Sudan also threatens to drastically reduce populations of elephant, giraffe, tiang, and other key wildlife species in key biodiversity areas. For more on the ongoing conflict in South Sudan, I'm joined by Gabriel Changson Chang, Head of Finance of SPLM-IO and the former Minister of Wildlife. Welcome to Africa 54. Yeah, so the SPLM, sometimes people get confused. The IO stands for in opposition because it used to belong to the same big body, SPLM. Now, you know, everybody has been watching things in Juba, and then the eyes shift to Addis Ababa, where the talks are supposed to be ongoing. Right now, as we speak, what can you report? Where are we with the talks?
Well, thank you for giving me this opportunity. First, IO, that is in opposition, is not our word. It's put by IGAD.
Okay.
We are SPLM, SPLA, full stop.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Well, as we speak, the consultative meeting or meetings held by IGAD mediation process from the 8th to 10th of this month ended, and we don't know the details.
Yeah.
What will be the next round and when is it going to take place. But what we have learned is that the IGAD envoys produced an unofficial document called Key Provisions and Justification for the Agreement on the Resolution of the Conflict in the Republic of South Sudan.
Okay. So just a document.
Yeah, just a document.
Okay. One thing that for us we've been really focusing on is the suffering in South Sudan, and we've covered this extensively, the human suffering. To what extent do the leadership, sit back and forget about IGAD and Addis Ababa and just as South Sudanese and say, our people are suffering, we need to fix this thing?
Well, you are right, and I think we are also concerned that our people are suffering immensely, and such suffering must be brought to an end. Mm-hmm. And equally important is that when there is a crisis of this magnitude, you need to look into what brought it.
Exactly.
What brought it. Yeah. So that if you are to address it, if you are to find a solution, a sustainable solution, a durable solution, then you must address the root causes. And
I have to agree. We've talked about this quite a bit, with the root causes, and I think people keep going back to that, and I don't see it taking anybody anywhere. How about if we talk about this a little bit today? I've always wanted to know what the impact has been on the treasure of Southern Sudan, that is wildlife, a docket you held some time back. What is the fate of that, of the wildlife in South Africa, which is very important for not only today, but for the future of the country?
Well, definitely, the war is taking its toll on everybody, on everything you can think of in the country. The loss of human lives is immense, very huge. The loss of property, destruction, you name them, including the loss of wildlife, which is our treasure, as you said. And what is happening now, with a lot of fighting going on, and especially in those areas where wildlife is predominant, the answer is animals are like human beings. Now there is migration of refugees, displacement of
and some of the animals are now moving to other countries.
And now the animals are also following the footsteps of others for their safety. So they are moving into
But
several directions.
some are also being poached or being killed by people.
That's how they move. They have to migrate because they are being killed like any other animals. So they migrate to Kenya, to Uganda, to Central Africa, to Congo, to Sudan, and to Ethiopia. All are neighbors.
What a loss, and it might be impossible.
And this is a
to bring
repeat
them
of our long war with the Sudan.
You know, we're looking to see a solution. We hope for the best. Mr. Chang, we thank you very much for joining us today here on Africa 54. Mr. Gabriel Changson Chang is the head of finance of SPLM and the former Minister of Wildlife in South Sudan.